We'll wait for Bob to get back on. He was having audio issues.
Greetings. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hola, Ms. Barnes. I saw you wave. I looked up and there you too many things to look at once here. It's like, I'm just gonna stare straight ahead. I won't miss anything.
Good afternoon or good evening. Been a long day.
Sheena with her red glasses. I love them.
Thank you. This is my 7th pair.
This week? So you got one for every day of the week, yeah?
I'm close. I'm
Good.
close.
Yeah. I usually have 2 that I switch back pretty readily on, and then a couple of sunglasses, but I need more, that's for sure. Oh, those are so like, they make you so approachable and so, just there. I love it.
Yeah, I need something to make me look approachable, right? So these are my newest pair.
Do you like them? Yeah.
I do.
They're rimless. Yeah. They're probably really light too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But these are my go-to since I'm wearing red right now. So
that's right. Then do it because they're an accessory at this point.
Right.
I like it. There he is. There he is. I see a microphone. That's a good sign.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can.
Okay. I had to get on a different computer.
Oh my.
Oh.
So, yeah, I got a couple computers, so.
Only individual I don't see on here yet is, wait, maybe he is.
It's again.
Are you looking for?
I'm looking for Mr. Gant.
For some reason, when the invite is given out to the Google Calendar, it's not an exact link. Almost have to always try to find the email to go back and actually get the email and hit the join in from off of the panelist.
Right. So it's a separate one for us because we're a panelist than what originally goes out on the calendar, I think. So we always look for the one that's within the last 24 hours where we are added as panelists. That
I think that's the problem I had too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm figuring it out after how many months that so this is probably the first time I was able to go straight to it too.
Okay, do we want to wait for Jim or do we just want to get started?
Has someone contacted
Wait 1
him?
minute.
Yeah, I'm shooting him a text right now.
Okay.
I mean, I think we could go ahead and get started, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna send him a text to join in when he's available, when he can.
Okay.
Okay, we'll just go ahead and get started then. And I will start off with the roll call. So we'll go with Mrs. Eichenberg,
Here.
Mrs. Gherkin,
Here.
Mrs. Varwig,
Here.
Mr. Vasquez,
Here.
Ms. Barnes.
Present.
Item is the Pledge of Allegiance. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
flag of the United
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Now I will turn it over to Dr. Durant for the mission and vision.
Yep. Toledo Public Schools mission to to produce. Toledo Public Schools' mission is to produce competitive college and career-ready graduates through a rigorous curriculum across all grade levels by implementing Ohio learning standing with fidelity. Our vision statement is to strive to be an A-rated school district whose graduates are college and career ready. Thank you.
Okay. So item 2.01 is the appointment of a President Pro Tem.
Yes, I would like to nominate Bob Vasquez as our President Pro Tem, please.
A second.
Okay. Are there any discussions, questions? If not, so we will go with Mrs. Eichenberg,
Yes.
Mrs. Gherkin,
Yes.
Mrs. Barwig,
Yes.
Mr. Vasquez,
Yes.
Ms. Barnes.
Yes.
All right, I will turn it over to Mr. Vasquez and he can start with section 3, the election of.
Okay, I think the first order of business is to elect a president, and I would like to nominate Chris Varwig for president.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Treasurer, please call the roll.
Mrs. Eichenberg,
Yes.
Mrs. Gherkin,
Yes.
Mrs. Barwig,
Yes.
Mr. Vasquez,
Yes.
Ms. Barnes.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you, Mr. Vasquez, and thank you for last year for your willingness to lead us in a trying year. And thanks to my board members for having faith in me in this coming year. So we'll see what happens. Don't regret it. Okay, so we're going to move on. At this point, we're going to call for nominations for the vice president. And I would like to take this time to nominate Polly Taylor Gherkin for vice president.
And I will second it. Oh,
That's so much fun.
Any discussion? We've had it moved and seconded. Any discussion at this time? No, Treasurer, call the roll, please.
Mrs. Eichenberg,
Yes.
Mrs. Gherkin,
Yes.
Mrs. Barwig,
Yes.
Mr. Vasquez,
Yes.
Ms. Barnes.
yes.
Wonderful. And at this time, before we move on to section 5, and I've not said anything to Mr. Schulte or Dr. Durant, but the board members I just informed, I would like to take just a moment to have a moment of silence for the terrorist attack that took place on our nation. Please. Thank you. Freedom never comes free. Okay, moving on to section 5, please. We have a resolution establishing the regular board meeting dates and times for 2021, and you should all have a copy of that already. Do I have a motion for that resolution, please?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, Treasurer, please call the roll.
Mrs. Eichenberg,
Yes.
Mrs. Gherkin,
Yes.
Mrs. Barwig,
Yes?
Mr. Vasquez,
Yes.
Ms. Barnes.
Yes.
Sorry about that. I didn't hear you, Mr. Schulte. Okay. Moving on to our next resolution. This resolution establishes the committees of the Board of Education of the Toledo City School District, and I will need to read this one. Whereas Board Policy BCE provides that the board may establish committees to advise the board, now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Education of the Toledo City School District, Lucas County, Ohio, that Section 1, pursuant to the board policy BCE, the board hereby establishes the following board committees for calendar year 2021. Arts, athletics, and student activities, curriculum, early childhood education, family and community engagement, finance and business operations, human resource staff development and training committee, and our newest one is technology improvements and process committee. The former community and public relations committee has been merged into the family and community engagement committee. Pursuant to policy BCE, the chairperson and co-chairs of the committees will be named by the board president. Section 2, the board finds and determines that all formal actions related to the adoption of this resolution were taken in open meetings of this board, and that all deliberations of this board and of its committees which resulted in formal action were taken in meetings open to the public in full compliance with applicable law. Section 3, this resolution shall be in full force and effect and immediately after this adoption. I have a motion, please.
So moved.
I'll move. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? No, treasurer, please call the roll.
Mrs. Eichenberg,
Yes.
Mrs. Gherkin,
Yes.
Mrs. Barwig,
Yes.
Mr. Vasquez,
Yes.
Ms. Barnes.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, at this time, I will go over the board appointments to the committees and the organizations. And first, I want to thank all of the board members for their willingness to step up and lead the charge with these committees. We get all of our information. Arts, athletics, and student activity, the chair is Stephanie Eichenberg, co-chair Chris Varwig. Community and public relations, which has been merged into the Family and Community Engagement Committee. Curriculum, chairs Polly Taylor Gherkin, co-chairs Chris Varwig. Early childhood education chair is Polly Taylor Gherkin, co-chair is Sheena Barnes. And a last switch, policy council delegate will be Sheena Barnes, and policy council alternate will be Polly Taylor Gherkin. Family and community engagement, chair is Bob Vasquez, co-chair is Sheena Barnes. Sheena, I really hope you love this committee as much as I have.
I do. I can't wait. I can't wait.
I know, I knew you would love this. Finance and business operations, chair is Bob Vasquez, co-chair is Chris Varwig. Get ready, finance, I'm back on it. Human resource staff development and training, chair is Polly Taylor Gherkin, co-chair is Stephanie Eichenberg. Policy committee, chair is Sheena Barnes, co-chair is Bob Vasquez. And our new committee is the Technology Improvements and Process Committee. The chair is Stephanie Eichenberg, co-chair is Polly Taylor Gherkin. Our strategic plan board liaison is Polly Taylor Gherkin, as well as our equity department development liaison is Polly Taylor Gherkin. And our business advisory liaison is Bob Vasquez. So at this time, I just want to read a brief synopsis of what the Technology Improvements and Process Committee, they're kind of like a little synopsis of what they're going to do, right? So they're responsible for reviewing infrastructure and district processes. This includes, but is not limited to, review and recommendations related to operations and special projects initiated by key district divisions and or departments, including human resources, business and operations, curriculum, communications, governance, fiscal management, and student support services. Really, this committee for me is a focus on infrastructure and initiatives and the impacts from some of the outside changes, such as the pandemic. I would like to personally thank Stephanie and Polly for stepping up, really their willingness to lead this new committee. One more thing on their plate, right? So thank you. Our board member appointments to organizations. Council of Great City Schools, the delegate will be Chris Varwig, alternate Polly Taylor Gherkin. National Alliance of Black School Educators, delegate is Sheena Barnes, alternate Polly Taylor Gherkin. Northwest Region Ohio School Board Association Executive Council, delegate Bob Vasquez, alternate Chris Varwig. And NSBA Annual Conference, delegate Polly Taylor Gherkin, alternate Sheena Barnes. NSBA Council of Urban Board of Education, delegate Sheena Barnes, alternate Polly Taylor Gherkin. OSBA Annual Business Meeting, delegate Chris Varwig, alternate Stephanie Eichenberg. OSBA Black Caucus, delegate Sheena Barnes. OSBA Board of Trustees, delegate is Bob Vasquez. The OSBA Legislative Liaison and Student Achievement delegate will be myself, Chris Varwig. And the OSBA Urban District Advisory delegate is Stephanie Eichenberg, alternate Chris Varwig. Although really all of us can attend that meeting, and I certainly encourage that. National Family and Community Engagement Conference, delegate Bob Vasquez, alternate Sheena Barnes. Okay, moving right along. Okay, just as a reminder, I would like to make sure all of you get an opportunity to touch base with your fellow board member about dates and times for the committees. So that way you can give that information to Ms. Scrutchins, our board secretary, so that way she can handle getting that information out to the public. All right, we are down to section 7 already. Are we like on time here? This might be the quickest board meeting ever, right? Superintendent, Dr. Durant, any comments?
Again, want to thank Mr. Vasquez for the work he's done as he had chaired the president's seat, and welcome and congratulate you along with Ms. Gherkin and to your new role and position as president and vice president. I think it's always a joy if I could speak for the administrative team to work with each and every one of you as you take the president's seat, because you bring a unique expertise that you bring to your position that really has helped and be an asset to the district. So again, congratulations to you all and your committees, and look forward to working and finishing this year out.
Thank you. And our treasurer, Mr. Sexualty.
Similar to Dr. Durant, just thank Bob for his year of service, and then wish you and Polly both good luck as we go through another year as president and vice president.
All right, sounds good. At this time, board members, any comments? Ms. Barnes?
Yes, once again, I'm piggybacking off everybody said so far with congratulations to Chris. I am really excited to get in some good trouble. And also to Ms. Gherkin, I am really happy because I know that you are very strategic about your planning. So this is going to be a good move for our board. And to Mr. Vasquez, thank you so much for my first year of showing me the ropes as president. I do appreciate it. And I want to also thank our staff and Dr. Durant for working through a very challenging year and still making sure that we gave our students the best high quality education possible. And once again, to my colleagues, I'm ready to get in some good trouble this year. So let's go.
Okay. I love it. Mr. Vasquez?
Yeah, I want to congratulate you, Chris, and also Polly. And it's going to be a good year, I hope. I hope we can get back in person, all of us, not only our board meetings, but get our students back in school. And I think that we're on our way. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really hopeful. I also want to thank all the staff in this last year as president, as always. You always are great to work with. So I think we're going to have a good year, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm really looking forward to somebody else taking the reins as well. So, congratulations to both of you.
Thank you, Mr. Vasquez. I appreciate that. Ms. Eichenberg?
I just want to take a moment. I do want to thank Mr. Vasquez, as the outgoing president, and I totally understand being excited for someone else to take over the reins. It is not a lightweight commitment in a district of our size. So Ms. Varwig, thank you very much for taking that on, and Ms. Gherkin for stepping up once again to help lead. It's one thinks it has to be a better year in 2021, but we can already see it's not without its challenges. I have the utmost faith we will comport ourselves as a district far better than we've seen the federal government comport themselves so far this year. And we will continue to have challenges with the state. And I look forward to all of your input on that. And I appreciate that you all support me in continuing to lobby the state legislatively as much as we can. So thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Gherkin?
Yes, thank you. So I think the beautiful thing about this board, at least during my 8-year tenure, my 8-year time on the board, the idea that we are all able and willing and trust each other to take our turn in leadership. And it's important because it really is. I mean, it seems like, a year isn't very long, but sometimes it really is a lot, right? Even, and I think about each time a year passes and you look back and think, couldn't have imagined that I'd have had that crisis, or Bob, going back even more years, some of the real crises that he saw when our district was in the deepest of all doo-doo back in the day. And then, still, he shows up on the scene as president last year, and you couldn't think that it would ever be that hard again. And then we have a global pandemic, and then I don't even want to say out loud, what we went through when Stephanie and I were
watching her shows,
right? What we went, the last time. So every time we think, well, it shouldn't, we've had our trouble, but this year should be fine. And yet there are unique challenges every year. And so whoever's in leadership, has their work cut out for them. Even in the best of times, there's things that are very challenging and also very rewarding. So, I welcome the opportunity to work with you again to get us through another year, Mrs. Harwick. And thank you for the confidence.
Well,
peers.
Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. First, I want to take an opportunity just to say, Ms. Barnes, thank you so much. I've enjoyed this last year that you've been on the board. I really see a great partnership with all of our members of the board. I even though one of us may be the president or the vice president, really I look at our board and I think we're all natural born leaders already because we're taking this step to help our students. And that's really, at the end of the day, what we're focused on is those student-centered decisions. And so I love the camaraderie. I love the strengths from each person. And, when I may have a weakness, somebody else has a strength, and we boost each other up and we help each other. And I love that, because at the end of the day, we are here for our students. So Mr. Vasquez, thank you for your leadership this past year. I've always appreciated your wisdom and your guidance from your experience throughout the years. And I truly mean that. And then
thank you for saying experience and not age.
I'm being kind. Come on now.
That was very good.
Ms. Gurkin, I always look forward to working with you. So we've done this before and we're going to do it again. I look forward to this next year. I certainly hope, along with the rest of the board, that we are back in session full time at some point. That is a goal of all of ours. We want to make sure we're doing it safely. And so thank you, Dr. Durant and Mr. Steck-Schulte and the entire district for, again, maintaining that we are doing things in the best interest of our students and our staff members. And, we'll get there. We'll get there. So let's hope for a more positive year than what has currently started out with. With that, I would like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Seconded.
Wonderful. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? No, thank you. Treasurer.
She's the boss.
Mrs. Eichenberg,
Yes.
Mrs. Gherkin,
Yes.
Mrs. Varwig,
Yes.
Mr. Vasquez,
Yes.
Miss Barnes.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.